Michael Dank. Number 5, John Ham. Number 21, Pete Lehan. Number 24, Sean Lehan. Number 14, Matt Marasco. Number 4, Casey McGrath. Number 13, Matt McGraw. Number 7, Brad McGurk. Number 35, Joe Palco. Number 11, Matt Porowski. And number 17, Travis Weaver. Senior sound coaches are head coach John Lawrence, assistant coach Peter Bearcat. Good luck, sir. And now, for your Upper St. Clair Panthers. Number 23, Brett McCormick. Number 10, Troy Murphy. Number 18, Pat Tye. Number 11, Clay Muga. Number 17, Austin Everett. Number 15, Zach Weber. Number 6, Scott Simonovich. Number 16, Scott Perry. Now for our seniors with their final home game. Number 5, Mike Popak. Number 8, Zach Cavo. Number 12, Tom Petrini. Number 24, TJ Highland. Number 22, Jason Foss. And number 3, Dave Andrighi. Team manager, Matt Howard. Coaches, Mark Killinger and head coach, Jack Zebo. Let's go, Panthers!
Good evening, everybody. Fans of Upper St. Clair boys volleyball. It is another volleyball night in Upper St. Clair. We come to you on Monday, May 14th, and this is the final match, the final home match, the final match of the season altogether. My name's Kevin McGahey. My videographer tonight is Caitlin McGahey, and it's our pleasure to bring you this non-section match between the Rebels, the AA Rebels, that is, of Seton LaSalle High School versus the homestanding Upper St. Clair Panthers. We've just finished the team introductions, and we're just about ready to go, and I think you'll see it's about the same starting lineup we've seen most of the season here. Number 22, senior Jason LaFalce. Number 3, the senior Dave Andrighi. Number 24, also senior, TJ Highland. And number 12, senior Tom Petrini. Number 11, we'll see on the floor, sophomore Clay Mucha will get a start, as will freshman number 10, Troy Murphy, who will probably be doing most of the setting chores. And last but not least, by any means, is the sophomore, number 18, Pat Tye, who we're glad to have back after a pretty extended absence. He had some ankle issues and came back to play the final 3 matches of the season. The Seton LaSalle Rebels come in here out of Section 2 in AA with a 5-7 section record, 8-7 overall. The Panthers with an 8-2 overall record. 8-2 section record and 8-5 overall. The Panthers have made the WPIAL playoffs. They're seeded 7th in WPIAL. They'll play their first match Wednesday night against Penn Hill, and the match is underway with Seton LaSalle with the first serve. To the left side, and TJ Highland, no power on it, but over it went. Left side, Seton LaSalle off the St. Clair tip and out of bounds. That was off number 14. That's the sophomore Matt Marasco. You'll find Seton LaSalle a very young team. They have only 2 seniors on the squad, 6 juniors, 3 sophomores, 3 freshmen. And that server number 13 is Matt McGraw. He is one of the seniors. TJ Highland that time up high for his first kill of the night. Knots up the match at 1-1 side out and point to the Panthers. Very early in game number 1. This is a best of 5 match, as they all are. Games go to 25 points. You have to win it by 2. Senior Dave Andrighi with the serve. Easy over the net, but that one went the wrong direction. Let's see if Seton LaSalle can pooch it over. Sure enough, they couldn't do much with it, but there's a Troy Murphy set. That's short set, and Clay Mucha, the sophomore, with his first kill of the night. 2 for the Panthers. 1 point for the Rebels, and Dave Andreggi will continue with that serve. Little hop serve, handled nicely by the Rebels. Kind of a confusing set right there, but it did go over the net. Keeps the ball in play, but TJ Hyland yet again with a slicing attack off the Troy Murphy set, and that's a 3-1 Panther lead. 3 excellent kills so far in the match for the Panthers. 2 by TJ Hyland, 1 for Clay Mucha. Dave Andreggi wearing the gray jersey. That gray jersey, or the odd colored jersey, denotes the libero. The libero can freely substitute anytime. No formal substitution, no check-in with the referee required. Usually a backcourt specialist. And that's what happened to Dave Andreggi. Left side to Stephen LaSalle, right into the block, but out of bounds. Good double block set up by Clay Mucha and Troy Murphy. But that ball to be blocked to score a point has to land inbounds on the opposite side of the court. It did not. It went out of bounds. Point and side out to Seton LaSalle, wearing the libero jersey for the Rebels, is number 35. That's Joe Palco, a 6'1 junior. TJ Hyland just dumping the ball over the net that time. It's not how hard you hit him, it's where you hit him. 3 points for TJ already tonight, and the serving chores go back to freshman number 10, Troy Murphy. 4-2 Panther lead early, game number 1 of this best-of-5 match. Little overpass to the net. They sent it over in the second ball. Troy Murphy with that back set, this time to Tom Petrini with his first shot. That ball had some English on it. That handcuffed Joe Palco. He thought it was coming to his left, and it hit him square in the chest. Major league curveball, and a successful kill for Tom Petrini. And Troy Murphy once again with a serve. Jason False keeping that ball inbounds. Tom Petrini from basically the back row, handled nicely by the Rebels. Over to their prime target, that's number 14 again, Matt Marasco, the sophomore, 6'2 sophomore, the outside hitter, gets himself a kill and a point. Side out for the Rebels, and number 14, this is Matt Marasco, goes right to the serving. Be great to have him in the back row a while. He seems to be their prime hitting target right now. TJ Hyland rolls the ball. Well, it landed in. That ball rolled on top of the net for about 8 feet, and ends up landing in on the Seton LaSalle side. It wasn't pretty, but it sure worked. That will take that kind of point any time. Jump serve attempt by TJ Hyland goes long. The jump serves are beautiful things to watch when they work, but once you're up in the air, they can be out of control. You've heard me say that many times before, and that one sailed way long by TJ. But they come over the net and drop. They're very tough to handle. TJ from the back row off the Seton LaSalle tip. Ball still in play. Left side off the St. Clair tip that time. 24 Sean Lehan. Miraculously kept in play by Matt Marasco of the Rebels. Short set. Seton LaSalle pushing the ball over the net. It's still in play. Troy Murphy now with a short back set to Tom Petrini. Off the block and successfully done, but Tom was under the net. Touched it, I think, on his way by as well. Point to the Rebels, and this will be junior Pete Bissert, 6'1 junior with the serve for the Rebels. Troy Murphy digging that ball out of the Jason False, lofting the ball over the net. 6-5 Panther lead. Still in game number 1. Tom Petrini on a sort of a 2-ball, but it's set right to him. Overpass goes into the net, and that's dug out by the Rebels. Pretty good ball control by Seton LaSalle tonight. Jason LaFalce with the left hand. Called in, finds the back right corner. Jason LaFalce with his first kill of the night. They're spreading them out. 4 killers so far tonight for the Panthers. Clay Mucha, the sophomore, hits to the back row with the serve. 7-5 Panther lead. Right at the net. Yeah, and the St. Clair wins the battle of that. Pat Tye came up with that block for a point. That ball, I thought it was going to come down on the net. When that happens, players from both sides get the chance to touch that ball and see who had the stronger wrist. That turned out to be the Panthers. For you aficionados, that is called jousting when that ball lands right at the net. And that time, an easy one, sort of a soft kill by Sean Lehan, the 6'2 sophomore. for Seton LaSalle. Side out and point to the Rebels. Jared Davis, junior with the serve for Seton LaSalle. Jason LaFalle sails it a bit long, got under that one. Pretty decent set. Jason got just underneath it. Sailed it long. Point for Seton LaSalle. They're hanging around. It's only an 8-7 Panther lead. Game is to 25. You have to win them by 2. Jason LaFalle keeping that one alive. From the back row. Yeah, a little confusing there. That Troy Murphy set went to the wrong direction. Fooled TJ Highland a little bit. Could not keep the ball in play. Point to Seton LaSalle. Back set Tom Petrini off the block and out of bounds. Tom Petrini, 3 kills on the night for him, ties to the team lead with TJ Highland. Panthers keep that lead. They've not lost that lead since they got it at 2-1. Seton LaSalle scored the first point of the game. Panthers got the next 2, and they've had the lead or tied ever since. Jump serve, that's how the jump serve is supposed to work from Tom Petrini. Goes over the net and dies. Well kept in by the Panthers. Pat Ty lofting the ball across the net. Into the block. Dug out by Tom Petrini. Almost found its way over the net. Instead falls back on the Panthers side, and it's a 9-9 draw. From the back row, TJ Highland again. Off a Seton LaSalle block, and it's a 4th kill for TJ. He's piling up like he did here last week against Mount Lebanon last Tuesday night. TJ had 21 kills. I don't know that that means anything. That's a lot for a 3-game match. Out of bounds. Good attack attempt by the Rebels, but sails wide by 6 or 7 feet. And it's a 2-point Panther lead at 11-9. Jason LaFalle with a left-handed serve. Back to the right side into the Pat Ty block. Pat Ty with 2 blocks for points on the night. And the Panthers extend that lead to 3. It's not much, but it's the largest lead of the night for St. Clair. And Jason Falls, the left-hander, continues with the serve. Little hop serve. To the left side and in, out. It's out of bounds. No tip. No tip, out of bounds. Point to the Panthers. They've got a nice 4-point run going here, and it's a 13-9 St. Clair lead. Short set, dump over the net. There, a little jousting attempt. Yeah, and Seton LaSalle comes back with that one. Seton LaSalle with a side out and the point. Number 13 with the serve. That's Matt McGraw, 6-foot senior. Dave Andreggi back to the net. Troy Murphy left side to TJ Highland off a block. That's a successful Seton LaSalle block. Ball falls right back into the back row of the St. Clair Panthers. 2 points in a row for Seton LaSalle. 13-11 Panther lead. Game number 1 of this best-of-5 match. Jason Falls to Troy Murphy. Short set to TJ Highland. Nothing much the Rebels could do about that. TJ was getting that one, and sure enough, he did. Side out and point. The serve that is back to the Panthers. Senior Dave Andreggi taking up the serving chores. Dave is headed to Virginia Tech next year. Not sure whether he's going to play volleyball or not. We'll soon find that out. Short set and the dump shot went backward. You like to see that on the first hit, but it is kept in play. Dave Andreggi. Troy Murphy left side. TJ Highland was going to dump that one over and did not. He came up about 6 inches short of getting that one over the net. Side out and point Rebels. 14-12 St. Clair lead. Joe Palco with the serve for Seton LaSalle. From the back row, Tom Petrini works out fine. No, you may not hit from the bench. That was a good idea, but same color jersey. No, I don't think we can allow that. Point for the Panthers. 15-12, 3-point lead. And Troy Murphy, the freshman, with the serve. Jason Falls to Troy Murphy. Back set, Tom Petrini called in. Must have hit that thing. I'm way on the other side of the court and 17 rows up in the grandstands, but the linesman called it in. Tom Petrini, 4 kills on the night. No protests from the Seton LaSalle bench, so it must have been true. 4-point Panther lead. Overpass. Dave Andreggi with a one-hander. Keeps the ball in play. Tom Petrini, right side. Oh, should have let that one go. That one was sailing way long, but Seton LaSalle did us the favor keeping it in play, and it's out of bounds. And that gives the Panthers the largest lead again so far of the night. 17-12, 5-point lead for the Panthers. And it looks like Coach John Lawrence will take a quick timeout for Seton LaSalle, as they may see this first game slipping slowly away here, and I'm sure he wants to stem that tide. So far, it's been a pretty good power outing for the Upper St. Clair Panthers. It's a lot of successful kills for this team anyway. TJ Highland with 5 already, Tom Petrini with 4, Jason LaFalce with 1, Clay Mucha with 1. That all adds up to 11 kills out of 17 points. Usually mistakes or non-kills make up a lot of that. In this case, it's working just fine for the Panthers. Seton LaSalle's no slouch. I'm not terribly sure whether they actually made the AA playoffs or not. I suspect they did, even with that 5-7 section record, if they took 12 teams. But here, the youth is being served here. This is a really good experience for Seton LaSalle. I imagine when all these guys are seniors next year, they'll be in the hunt with a vengeance. Troy Murphy once again with the serve. St. Clair with a 5-point lead. Back set right side. Troy Murphy dug that one out of nowhere. Point for St. Clair. That was possible because Troy Murphy got down on that floor and dug the ball right out of it to keep that in play. Didn't bother with a set and a kill. It was expertly done by Troy. Right side attack off the hand of Jason LaFalce and out of bounds. Point for Seton LaSalle. Jump serve from the Rebels. First we've seen Dave Andreggi handles that one nicely. That was Matt Marasco with that serve. Panthers are really crowded up to the net. All 6 of them in front of the front line. And that works out just dandy. TJ Highland gets it over the net. We'll give him credit for that kill. And it ended up being a lift called on the Rebels as they tried to recover that ball after dribble down the front of the blocking front. And it's a 6-point lead, largest of the game and the night for the Panthers. Dave Andreggi got that one, dug it out of there, but was unable to get it back to the front line. Point for Seton LaSalle. Dave Andreggi with a nice dig attempt again. Thank you. Troy Murphy with the set, left side. Jason LaFalce, a little too much momentum. Yeah, Jason had just shoved the ball over the net, but his momentum carried him into the net and under it. That violation results in a point for Seton LaSalle. 3-point Panther lead, 19-16. And for the first time tonight, we see senior Zach Cavo on the floor. Zach also a setting specialist for the Panthers. Haven't seen him in a couple of weeks. Troy Murphy takes a rest on the bench. We imagine he'll be back. Ooh, good choice by Dave Andreggi. He had his hands up to return that, but it sailed long. And on the service error, side out and ball serve that is rather back to the Panthers. Clay Mucha with the jump hop serve. Another, well, easy come, easy go, I guess. We got one, we give one. Panthers still with a 3-point lead. As Jared Davis, the 6'1 junior, handles the serve for Seton LaSalle. Right side, Tom Petrini with too much power for the Seton LaSalle Rebels that time. That slicing attack is tough to come up with, tough to control. And Tom Petrini with the jump serve and lands in. You see how it comes over the net and just dies there. That's the power of that jump serve. Left side, Jason LaFalce off the Seton LaSalle blocking out of bounds. Jason LaFalce with his 2nd kill of the night. 22-17, good time to be leading by 5. Remember, the game is to 25. You'll win it by 2. Second timeout of the game called by John Lawrence. It'll be kind of sad to see this group of seniors go. This is another one of these winning teams Jack Zebo has put together this season. Just as a quick summary, I told you Dave Andreghi, the senior, is headed to Virginia Tech, where he's going to play club volleyball. The senior Mike Popek, who I hope to see before the night is over, is headed to Penn State main campus. Zach Cavo, number 8, who just came in to play setter, he is also headed to Penn State main campus. Tom Petrini, you've heard me call his name many times this season. He's handling the serves right now, is headed to Nazareth College in Rochester, New York. That's a Division III school where he will play volleyball. Jason LaFalce, the senior, is headed to Ohio University in Athens, Ohio, and TJ Highland is headed to St. Andrews College, a Division II school. St. Andrews is in North Carolina, where he will play volleyball. So it looks like they've got some interest in keeping this up, and that's the other risk of a jump service coming up short. That net is 7 feet 11 inches tall, and that one was about a 7-8. Side out and point to Seton LaSalle. Sean Lehan with the serve for the Rebels. Short set to Pat Ty. Handcuffed Sean Lehan, came right at his waist. That's one of those, you never know what to do. Whether you should do with hands up or hands down. Sean just didn't have enough on it to keep the ball in play. That serve barely edged over the net. Left side TJ Highland just oozes it into what you call the donut, the center of the defense. Yeah, hit him where they ain't. He hit him where nobody was standing. And now it's game point for the Panthers. Actually 6 game points in hand. And a little confusion there. You got it. I got it. You have it. And that service ace for Jason LaFalce results in a victory in game number 1 for the Panthers. There's a bunch more to come. Panthers take the first game of this best-of-3 match, 25-18. Stay with us. We'll be right back for game number 2. Thanks for staying with us. We're here for game number 2. Well, an inauspicious start for TJ Highland and his jump serve. This is game number 2 of a best-of-5 match between the homestanding Upper St. Clair Panthers and the visiting Rebels of Seton LaSalle. I'm Kevin McGahey. My videographer is Caitlin McGahey, and Seton LaSalle has an early 1-0 lead here in game number 2. Panthers, of course, took the first one. You just saw that happen. 25-18. Overpass goes into the net, but comes right back, and Jason LaFalce. Is it kept in play? It's, well, kept kind of alive. But that heads off a wrist and out of bounds, and that sends the point and side out over to the Panthers, where sophomore Clay Mucha will conduct the serve. Odd set. That was an overpass, but it kept in play very nicely. Well, let Jason LaFalce hear it again. You don't have to hit them hard. You have to hit them where they ain't. And that's what Jason LaFalce did, giving the Panthers an early 2-1 lead in game number 2. That's the big hitter, number 14, the sophomore Matt Marasco, but he came up short. Hope he didn't do any damage to that valuable net. He hit it pretty hard into that thing, but it's a point for the Panthers. Clay Mucha once again with a hop serve. Lofted over the net, kept out of there by Troy Murphy now, and Tom Petrini with power, but out of bounds. Headed right toward me. I had a pretty bad perspective on it, but it landed outside the white line. Point and side out to Seton LaSalle. 3-2 Panther lead, game number 2 of this best-of-5 match. Marasco with a jump serve. That's how it's supposed to do. Well, that's a pretty good-looking jump serve, I have to say. It landed just inside the back line. And if you saw the trajectory of that ball, it comes over the net and just dives for the floor with a heavy topspin. Same thing, but handled now. TJ Highland got a hold of that one nicely from the back row. TJ with the attack. Dave Andreghi, but into the structure. That one's not. It didn't touch anything. Usually you can't let it hit structure as it goes over to the opposition side, but it went right over and through the structure. Anyway, Seton LaSalle comes away with the point on a very nice attack that went to the back left corner, and it's a 4-3 Seton LaSalle lead. Their first, well, they led 1-0 in this game, so it's their second lead of this match, and that time it goes long. Still a good-looking jump serve by Matt Marasco. Match all knotted up at 4. Tom Petrini, senior for the St. Clair Panthers, with the serve. Nothing fancy, just lofts it over, and a slicing attack off the wrist of Jason LaFalce comes off fine. And from the back row, TJ Hyland, not much on it. A short set into the Pat Tye block. 3 of those tonight, 3 blocks for points for Pat Tye. And the Panthers had the lead back at 5-4. Tom Petrini with the serve. Short set, and Tom Petrini didn't know whether to go high or low with it. He ended up doing nothing with it, and that was sailed right over his head, inbounds, and it's a 5-5 game. Side out and serve back to Seton LaSalle. Pete Bissert, the junior, with this jump serve just a bit outside. Hope he didn't damage anybody on the St. Clair bench, but it is a missed serve, and on the air service error, it goes over to the Panthers. Jason LaFalce with the left-hand serve. They tried the dump shot that time. That did not quite work. That was Matt McGraw, the 6-foot senior, who thought he could catch the Panthers napping. He did not. That one just sort of dribbled down the front of the net on his own side, and it's a point for the Panthers and a 2-point lead at 7-5. Jason LaFalce once again with the serve. Well, not the prettiest service ace I've ever seen, but it did not come back. That's 2 aces on the night for Jason LaFalce. Jason False, I'm corrected. Tom Petrini keeping that ball just in play right over the net. What touched a Panther player. Yeah, the set from Seton LaSalle actually went over the net onto the St. Clair side and surprised everybody. Troy Murphy, I think, that dribbled down his arm and out of bounds. Point for the Rebels, and it's 8-6 Panthers. Dave Andreggi. TJ Hyland out off the block. Tom Petrini keeping that one in play, but that overpass went right to the net. What's the call? What's the call? Is that a roof call? Is that what it was? Pat Tye finally with a kill. Actually his second of the night off a gorgeous set, and it's 9-7. Panthers have that lead back to 2. This is game number 2, best of 5 match. Dave Andreggi tips it off the net. You can play those, not like the old days when I was growing up. You could not play it the net serve. Here you can do it. And that back row attack attempt sails way long for Seton LaSalle. Dave Andreggi once again with a serve. Little hop serve and just a little wide, couple of feet wide. It was headed for the back left corner. Sails out of bounds, and on the service error, the serve goes right back to Seton LaSalle. Sean Lehan, a sophomore, with that serve on the second attempt. Most everybody was waiting for a set. They didn't get it, and Troy Murphy just sailed that one into the donut on the fly. He doesn't get many kills, but that one counts. First of the night and the first in a long time for Troy Murphy. Off the tip and onto the floor. That's Matt Marasco again. We've called his name a lot. He's the primary hitter from the left side. Side out end point back to the Rebels. 11-9 Panther lead. Tom Petrini comes up a little short, counts as 4 hits, but basically Tom hit it into the net. Not quite enough loft on it. Point Rebels. TJ Hyland, and a short set to Tom Petrini. He sort of flipped off his wrist. Nicely done by Jason False. Marasco again off the block. Well, the blockers were in the net that time. And then at violation sends the point to Seton LaSalle. They continue with the serve. Number 13, Matt McGraw, the senior, with the serve. Dave Andreggi keeping it back. Troy Murphy on that set. Short set, and TJ Hyland once again. It's his first kill of the second game of this match. Gives the Panthers the lead back at 12-11. And TJ heads right to the serve. 2 hit called. Yeah, you can either tell a double hit by the sound, if it's click click as the hand hits the ball, or by the spin. I think they told that one by the spin. And that double hit violation gives the Panthers a point. TJ Hyland once again with a serve over pass. Yeah, into the net. This is not a bad idea to take it over in the second ball, but Pete Bissert, number 3, the junior, sort of backslid right into the net. The net violation would have given the ball to the Panthers anyway. It's a 3-point Panther lead at 14-11. He had the short set in mind. That's Pete Bissert again, and somehow he took his eye, he might have taken his eye off that ball because it dribbled right down his wrist, and they did not get the attack attempt. Works out great for the Panthers. They've got the 4-point lead, which is the largest of game number 2, 15-11. This game still works out in favor of the Panthers. Have been a little less interesting than the first one, where kills really dominated game number 1. This has been more mistakes on points and, well, a couple of service aces, a couple of blocks for points, a nice mix, and no major substitutions for the Panthers. And it looks like the Upper St. Clair's got the game fairly well in hand right now at 15-11. We'll see what Jack Szebo's got in mind after that. John Lawrence, who's the head coach for Seton LaSalle, after he called that timeout, see whether he can get his charges inspired here. They seem to be a little flat right now. TJ Hyland with that serve, and from the back row. Again, Seton LaSalle not getting an attack attempt. Tom Petrini, though, with that one, found the wide open right back, and Tom Petrini, 6 kills on the night, but only his first of game number 2, and there were already 16 points into this, and we've only had 5 attacks for points, 5 kills on the night. Substitution for Seton LaSalle. First time we've seen on the floor number 5, a junior, 6'1" junior, that is, John Hamm. Now on the floor, goes right to the back row middle. TJ Hyland with the serve. Hamm gets that serve right to him, and from the back row, basically, Marasco again. Dave Andreghi off his wrist. Might have had a shot at it, but Troy Murphy got a little bit twisted up. It falls into the St. Clair bench, and with a 5-point lead, that side out and point go to the Panthers. A new libero handling the serving chores. Jason False, and had the Seton LaSalle Rebels fooled. They could not get that one over the net on 3, and Jason False with his 4th kill of the night, 2nd of the game. Off the St. Clair block, Tom Petrini, not much on it. Keeping the ball alive, double hit called again. Second one we've seen out of Pete Bissert in this game. That error gives the point, and side out right back to the Panthers, and a 6-point lead at 18-12. Clay Mucha with the serve for the Panthers. Little hop serve, just gets it over the net. Very nice kill by Matt Marasco. Let's see if it was out of bounds. Must have gone outside of the antenna on that attack attempt. That's an outside ball. (19-12), 7-point lead for the Panthers, largest of game number 2. Well done by Clay Mucha, and Pat Ty takes care of that. That's one of those that was really an overpass, headed right to the net, but Pat Ty with a good presence of mind to stuff that one down on the Seton LaSalle side. 3 kills on the night for Pat Ty, and Clay Mucha continues with the serve. From the right side this time, there's Marasco, and off the hands of Troy Murphy and out of bounds. I see a new player. I missed a substitution a minute ago. Senior Mike Popek has found his way onto the floor. Jason False is on the bench right now. I imagine we'll see him back, and right now the Panthers are in pretty decent shape with a 7-point lead at 20-13. This is the time of the game where you want to have a few points as a cushion. Matt Marasco with a jump serve and a short one. Service error sends that side out, and point right back to the Panthers. 4 to go in game number 2. Substitution for the Rebels. Number 11, first time we've seen him tonight, freshman Matt Porowski. taking the place of Jared Davis. Long serve. Well, another service there. They give one, they take one. Way long for Tom Petrini. Here's Pete Bissert. The setter with his service attempt. Over it goes, nothing fancy. Dave Andreggi handles it nicely. Short set, but a little too short. Pat Tye expected to get that one a couple of feet higher. Didn't. It's still a 6-point Panther lead, but it's 21-15 now. Game number 2. Panthers could just put a run together and put this one away. There's that short set again. Comes up a little bit short. Timing's off a little bit between Troy Murphy and Pat Tye. It's 2 points in order they probably should have had with a set that was high enough. They'll get it. Third try's a charm. This should come back right with the same exact play. Dave Andreggi, Troy Murphy from the back row. Tom Petrini off the net and off Matt Marasco. There's the set. Mike Popek just comes on the floor and gets a beautiful left side set. Mike Popek with his first kill of the night. And it's a 6-point Panther lead at 22-16. Mike Popek heads right to the serve. Nothing going for the Rebels that time. Troy Murphy, left side back to TJ Hyland in the net though. No tip. No, not off a Seton LaSalle player. Off the net instead. It's called for hits. That violation sends the ball back to the Rebels, where Matt Porowski, the freshman, will do the serve. Left-hander, Dave Andreggi. On the second ball, Troy Murphy. 2 kills on the night for Troy, where he made on a night that had 2 in the last 8 matches combined. 6-point lead for the Panthers at 23-17. And in a pretty comfortable position right now in here, game number 2. From the back row, nothing on it. Panthers get another chance for a kill attempt, and it comes up a little short. Another short set by Troy Murphy. Clay Mucha didn't have much to work with. Troy needs to put 2 or 3 more feet on those sets. And doing the serving for Seton LaSalle is Sean Lehan. Tom Petrini from the back row. That was one way awkward. It's a set that Tom Petrini really had to chase down to do anything with. And the back row attack falls in for 25 for the kill. And now the Panthers at the same score they had in game number 1. It's 24-18. It's game point. Games to 25, you win it by 2. But they've actually got 6 game points because the Seton LaSalle Rebels would have to score 6 in a row to extend this match, send it to overtime. I don't think that's going to happen. TJ Hyland for the Panthers still leads everybody with 8 wonderful kills. Tom Petrini in with 7. Jason Falls has 4. Pat Tye 3. Troy Murphy, oddly enough, has 2. Clay Mucha with 1. Mike Popek with 1. 2 service aces in the match for the Panthers so far, both by Jason Falls. And it'll be Troy Murphy, the freshman, serving to try to conquer game number 2. See what Troy's got to fool him with. That goes backwards. You love to see that. Mike Popek actually had a decent look at that attack by Matt Marasco. Way too much power, though, for him to do much with. Rattles off his wrist over the St. Clair bench out of bounds, and it's point for Seton LaSalle. 24-19. Dave Andreggi popping the ball back, gets it right back. They're playing tennis over there. Tom Petrini does some. Holy smokes! I hope John Hamm is all right. He got walloped by that overhand attack by Tom Petrini, and it comes to a point for Seton LaSalle. That's Pete Lehan keeping the Seton LaSalle Rebels alive. It's 24-20. Panthers still with 4 game points in hand. Tom Petrini off the net. That keeps the ball alive and playable. Marasco again off the St. Clair block. And Seton LaSalle very much alive here in game number 2. Back within 3 with the Panthers only needing 1. Seton LaSalle's put together 3 points in a row to keep this one close. Mike Popek gets it at left. Tom Petrini, what can he do with it? Didn't fool the Rebels right then. Marasco again, though, falls at the feet of Mike Popek. 4 points in a row has made game number 2 a lot more exciting than it needs to be. Panthers usually have the advantage here by receiving the ball first. They've got the first attempt at a kill. They haven't taken advantage for these 4 points. TJ Highland, yeah, awkwardly done. Seeing LaSalle does keep the ball in play, though. Tom Petrini finishes it off. That'll be that. It was more exciting than it needed to be. But the Panthers have won game number 2, 25-22. And we'll take a quick break here before game number 3 comes up. Stay right with us, everybody. All right, everybody, we're back for game number 3. That was a 3-minute break for us. It was only a couple of milliseconds for you. But this Panthers would like to finish this off. It's a best-of-5 match. The Panthers have 2 games in hand already. And they got the first point right there on the missed kill by Seton LaSalle. It's 1-0 Panthers. Game number 3, they won the first game, 25-18. They won the second one just now, 25-22. And a third win right now sends everybody home early and happy. Number 15 on the floor for the first time. This is junior Zach Weber playing the libero this time and doing the serving for the Panthers. Marasco again. Matt Marasco for Seton LaSalle with yet another kill. I haven't been keeping track, but he's had a ton of them tonight. Evens the match up at 1-1 here, a real early game number 3. Zach Weber, left side, another new face on the floor. Scott Perry, who we haven't seen in quite a while, gets a start here in game number 3. It's practically a whole new lineup for the Panthers, except for Troy Murphy, the freshman who does the serving. We'll take that service ace. That one rattled off the hands of Matt McGraw, the 6-foot senior. But Murphy with his first 2 kills, maybe all season, 1 dig, and now his first service ace. Pretty good night all around for Troy Murphy, not counting all the nice setting he's been doing. Overpass, Zach Weber digging that one off the floor. It was a surprise that one even made its way back. Zach, pretty good quickness, presence of mind to come up with it, but not enough to keep it in bounds. Matt Marasco with a jump serve and way long by easy 8 or 10 feet. Service error gives the ball right back to the Panthers and the side out. Into the block, yeah. Nice attempt to recover by Clay Mucha, but not enough to get the ball back in play and over the net, and it's side out and point to Seton LaSalle, where Pete Bissert, the 6'1 junior, and with a jump serve attempt, and that one goes way long, longer than the last one. Jump serves are great tools when they're in control. Pat Ty, number 18, substitutes Zach Weber. The libero heads out. He'll be back, though. Clay Mucha with that little hop serve. Pat Ty with the block for the point. 4 on the night for Pat. Smelled out that attack attempt by Matt McGraw, the 6-foot senior for Seton LaSalle. Clay Mucha once more with that serve. Again to go back. Yeah, came back. Not a service ace. The short set to Pat Ty. Nicely done by Troy Murphy. Now they're working together. In game 2, we saw Troy Murphy have a couple of really short sets. That one clicked like clockwork for Pat Ty, but Clay Mucha, I bet he wishes he had that serve back. That one comes up to about 2 feet short in vertical height. Into the net, side out, and point for Seton LaSalle. Jared Davis, number 10, 6'1 junior with the serve for the Rebels. Zach Weber going the wrong direction. Yeah, lift called. He wanted it to go forward. It went back. (7-5) Panther lead. Game number 3 of this best-of-5 match. Panthers already with 2 games in hand. Not enough on it that time by Scott Perry. He needed more power behind that one to loft it over the net. Didn't make it, and the Seton LaSalle Rebels are back within one at 7-6. Scott Perry. Well, there's a timing issue again with Troy Murphy and Pat Tye. Jason False this time sends it to the back corner. I probably should have let that one go. It probably was headed out, but the Rebels kept it in play. Pat Tye with a setting. Once again, that one might have been headed out, but miraculously the Rebels are keeping these balls in play, and not that time, no. Now, we saw one in game number 2 that went above that structure and went right over the net. That time it got caught up in the netting up there. Drops in as no good. Side out and serve back to the Panthers, and it's Mike Popek, the senior, with the serve. Just barely over the net, and that one fooled. They did drag it out of the net. Nicely done by the Rebels. Jason LaFalce off a tip, or nope, just straight out of bounds. Way long. Jason False got way under that one. And the Rebels are hanging around substitution. Gary Boland, a 5'10" junior. First time we've seen him on the floor tonight, and he'll go right to the serving chores. 8-7 Panther lead. Game number 3. Zach Weber, Troy Murphy, and Pat Tye. That one fooled the Rebels. Falls right at the feet of Pete Bissert, who had some trouble coming up with that. Again, not a lot of power on it, but Pat Tye made sure that one did not come back. It's a 2-point Panther lead, 9-7. Jason False with the serve. Wow, nicely dug out of there by Mike Popek to actually come up with that ball. But it went to a spot where nobody was standing, and it ends up being a service ace for Seton LaSalle. Easy money from Pat Tye. All they had to do was pick his spot. Seems like the Seton LaSalle players are getting sort of flat-footed over there. Not really going after some of these balls and creating nice spaces that with a nice timely set, the Panthers ought to be able to take advantage. And there's a service ace for Zach Weber. 4 aces on the night for the Panthers. I'm sure the Rebels thought that one was sailing out of bounds. No way. It was inbounds by 2 or 3 feet. And the Panthers have a 3-point lead, their largest of game number 3. Same thing, they weren't going to let that one drop that time. Troy Murphy. Rebel player into the net. I'm sorry, it was screened. I couldn't see which one it was, but the net violation gives that point back to the Panthers. What? Oh, out of bounds that time. Zach Weber tried the same thing. Came up about 6 inches long. And the Seton LaSalle Rebels are still hanging in there, trailing by 3. They really never had a commanding lead at any point tonight. They led by 1 point 3 times maybe in the 3 matches, but not enough to mount any kind of a serious threat. Troy Murphy once again. Blocked again. Mike Popek just getting over that block this time. Oh, the joust is won by Zach Perry. Scott Perry. Excuse me. That ball came right down on the net again. We've seen that several times tonight. Scott Perry with the advantage and the leverage that time to keep that ball. Another one really could have been a joust, but that one dropped just short of the net. I think Seton LaSalle thought that was going over the net, and it's high time that Coach Lawrence called a timeout for Seton LaSalle. They really should have been aggressive enough to get to that ball, but it's one of those 2 in a row that were coming down just about to fall on the net. Either way, the Panthers would have had that. It was going straight into a double block, and the Panthers right now enjoy a 5-point lead at 14-9. TJ Hyland, no kills in this game. He's got 8 on the night. 6 for Pat Tye, 7 for Tom Petrini, 4 for Jason Jason False. 2 for Troy Murphy, 1 Clay Mucha, 1 Scott Perry, and 1 for Mike Popek. And with the serve and a 5-point lead, It is Troy Murphy, the freshman. Matt Marasco, but that didn't work. Troy Murphy smelled that one. But he gets another shot off a blocker. It's off, called off a tip and out of bounds. So that is a successful kill for Matt Marasco of Seton LaSalle, and he goes right to the serve. Trailing by 4, St. Clair leads 14-10. Seton LaSalle substitution, Sean Lehan, the 6'2 sophomore, comes back on the floor. Gary Boland on the bench. Back set. Scott Perry just oozes it over the net, comes right back though. Short set into the Seton LaSalle block. Troy Murphy once again. Mike Popek off the block and out of bounds. Mike Popek makes it count with that kill off the Seton LaSalle block and out of bounds, and the Panthers have that 5-point lead back at 15-10. Scott Perry with the serve. Troy Murphy. Jason Falls sifts to the block and comes right back in. Lands on the St. Clair side, nicely blocked by the Seton LaSalle Rebels for a point. Substitution, another new player on the floor. Joe Palco. He played libero in the first 2 games of this match. He's now on as an outside hitter. Pete Bissert, number 3, with the serve for Seton LaSalle. Clay Mucha off the Troy Murphy set. Clay Mucha, only his 2nd kill of the night, comes at a very timely juncture for the Panthers. A 5-point lead at 16-11. Senior Zach Cavo, number 8, back on the floor. We saw him in game number 2 for the Panthers. He'll be the setter. Left side, left hand hit, blocked by Pat Ty. Mike Popek. Way long. Sean Lehan up high with a good look, but sails it about 10 feet long, and it's a 6-point Panther lead now. 17-11 at a very good spot in this match. Clay Mucha, that little hop serve. I don't think he threw the ball high enough to get it over the net. It's always possible to stop a serve in the middle if you drop the ball. You can't catch it. You can't, but you. New player on the floor for Seton LaSalle is 16. He's Michael Denk, a freshman, 5'6". And, well, they had a pretty good arc on it, but that one stayed high. Sailed 3 or 4 feet out of bounds. Side out, ball back to the Panthers. Mike Popek. Oh, substitution. Oh, hit the antenna. That's no good. The antenna is out of bounds. So that error sends the ball right back to Seton LaSalle. Scott Perry, Zach Cavo, Pat Ty did not fool the Rebels. Zach Weber digs that one out. Zach Cavo with the set, and not much to work with. Unfortunately, Zach pretty much set it to nobody, and nobody was quick enough to get over there to do anything with that ball. Point for Seton LaSalle, 18-14 Panther lead. Zach Cavo again getting after a ball that really was didn't give him too much to work with. He lunged at it, trying to keep the ball in play, but it sailed it over the St. Clair bench out of bounds. Point to the Rebels, trailing by 3, 18-15, Panther lead. Backs it with the left hand. Zach Weber with one arm, trying to rescue that. Unsuccessfully rolls out of bounds. Back within 2. And we see a couple of substitutions. Number 3, Dave Andreggi, the senior, comes back not as libero this time, but playing the back line just the same. And catches that serves. Zach Weber, Pat Tye, more timing issues. We've actually seen a lot of that tonight, with timing issues on this short set where Pat Tye is supposed to get the opportunity and doesn't. And the Seton LaSalle Rebels are back within 1 at 18-17. Dave Andreggi from the back row lands it in. Dave Andreggi with a back row attack. Another Panther who doesn't get many successful kills, but that one lands in, his first of the night. And the kills have really been spread out tonight for the Panthers. 9 different players have kills, where you're not really focusing on your major outside hitters. It evenly distributed. Everybody's contributing. Just edges off the net. It's playable, don't forget. Pat Tye off the block and off an arm and down. Good time for the Panthers to recover their composure. Pat Tye, 7 kills on the night for him, and the Panthers with a 3-point lead. It's game number 3. The Panthers run 5 more points off of here, and this match is over, and everybody goes home happy and early. 2017 Panthers. Matt Marasco giving Zach Weber a shot at it. Zach touched it, but it rolled off his wrist out of bounds, and it's 2018 Panthers. Way long. We got to get him out of the weight room. Looks like he hurt his hand on that serve. That's number 9, Joe Palco. Oh, he's got his finger wrapped. Something might have happened to that. No, Zach Weber wishes he had that one back. Not a great time of the match to have a service error, but the Panthers do still have a 2-point lead. Substitutions coming up for the Rebels. Let's see who's in, who's out. Number 10's back on the floor. That's Jared Davis. We've seen him before. And number 4, this is Casey McGrath, a 5'11" freshman. First time we've seen him on the floor all match long, and he gets to serve. He gets the chance to serve here with the Panthers leading 21-19. Scott Perry. Mike Popek from the back row, but not enough on it. Wallops it into the net. Seton LaSalle back at within 1 now at 21-20. Panthers with just the barest of leads here, 21-20. That works out nicely. The short set from Zach Cavo to Clay Mucha for his 3rd kill of the night. 2-point cushion for the Panthers. 22-20. Game goes to 25. You win it by 2. Let's see what Zach Cavo's got in his bag of tricks. Well, that short set works off the hands of Zach Cavo and out of bounds. Seton LaSalle back within 1, but really, if you're doing the serving, it's not really an advantage because the team you're serving to gets first shot at the classic bump set attack. Sets up the Panthers if they can use it to get that side out and control the ball once again. Well, no need to do all that yammering I did. And sure enough, that Matt Marasco serve just sails out of bounds wide by 2 or 3 feet. Timeout once again called by Coach Lawrence of the Seton LaSalle Rebels, trying to see whether his team can extend this match by a game. Right now, the Panthers only need 2 to finish this out. The Seton LaSalle Rebels need 4. It's 23-21, and both teams seem to have emptied their benches here a little bit in this final match of the season. Time to see whether the Panthers would see what this is probably the Panther team for next year, with the exception maybe of Zach Cavo. I think we'll see all these players again on the St. Clair floor next year, with the possible, except for Mike Popek as well. Zach Cavo, number 8, Mike Popek are the 2 seniors on the floor right now for the Panthers. Scott Perry with the serve, successfully over. That one doesn't come back. Service ace for Scott Perry. And now it's match point. And it's season point, regular season point, that is, for the Panthers, 24-21. They actually have 3 match points in hand. Overpass goes to the joust. Won by the Panthers. And that's that. Panthers victorious tonight in the final match of the season against a game Seton LaSalle Rebel squad. Well, thanks everybody for watching this entire season long. It's been my pleasure to bring you these games. My name's Kevin McGahey. Tonight's videographer, Caitlin McGahey. And the home fans go home early and with a home victory, 25-18, 25-22, and 25-21. Thanks everybody for being with us this season. We'll see you next year right here on Cable 7. Good night, everybody.